Good morning. I think we are getting started. Georgie, you're on the line?
I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to make you the presenter, and we can get started in a moment. We got a terrific presentation for you, which we're going to get to in a second. For those of you who have attended one of our webinars before or any other go-to webinar, you'll know that your phones or any other listening device that you're using this morning are already on mute, so don't worry, we can't hear you. If you would like to ask a question, there is a questions tab that's on that side docking station. So you just open that up, type in a question. I'll be moderating the presentation, and I may break into our presenter and ask the question, or I may choose to wait for either at the end of the presentation or when I think there's a more opportune time. In a couple of minutes after Georgie gets started, we are going to take a quick poll. I'm going to ask you a few questions, so I would appreciate if you could participate at that time. A couple of announcements. I know most of you joining us today are registered pros with Capital Lighting and 1-800-Lighting.com, and I just wanted to thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to be your source for lighting, fans, and home furnishings, and we really appreciate the business and allowing us to make your lives brighter. If you live in New Jersey or Florida, I hope you'll be joining us for our next round of Wine and Shines. Those are some terrific networking and educational events. They're really getting well attended and just getting better and better. Georgie Brown and I will actually be up in New Jersey in East Hanover on November 7th and in Greenbrook, New Jersey on the 8th. And in Florida, we'll be having events in Stewart on the 6th and Palm Beach Gardens on the 7th. These events are all at 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Details of all this and the presentation materials and a link to the presentation today will be emailed to everybody in the next day or two. So don't be concerned if you didn't get that information that I just said. It'll all be sent to you shortly after the webinar is over. And lastly, before we get started, I just wanted to express that our relationship with our pro community is a two-way street. Our stated mission is to be part of a team to help make the world a brighter place, and we strive every day to add value to our pro community and deliver you relevant content and bring you showrooms and a website that are second to none. So I invite you to please share with me or any member of our team here your thoughts and experiences with us. We always love to hear where we exceeded your expectations or where we could have done better, because we never stop learning or trying to improve our business. And with that commitment to learning, let's get started with the webinar. Our presenter today is Georgie Ann Brown, affectionately known as Georgie. She is the co-founder and managing partner for Big Couch Media Group, a South Florida-based strategic consulting and full-service agency. Georgie has over 20 years of experience in digital strategy and marketing and was an early adopter and evangelical follower of social media. She's been a great help to us at Capital Lighting, and I'm sure you're going to find her to be a great help to you. So with that, please take it away, Georgie.
Thank you, Eric, and good morning, everyone. I am so thrilled to be here with you this morning and to really share some of the basics on Pinterest and how you can really start using this to drive new business. And more importantly, I want to help you get started today. And really my goal today is to hopefully inspire you to do something. I really want you to go away and do something, especially for the design community as it relates to Pinterest. It's really an exciting platform for you to be considering for your marketing strategy. So today we're going to help answer the following questions on Pinterest. What is it? Who's on it? Why is it important to you? I want to help you get started. Also share a little case study, and hopefully this will generate some ideas for you. And of course, we'll leave time for questions and answers. But before we get started, Eric is going to help take us through a quick poll. Take it away, Eric.
All right. Let's see. The first question, simple question, are you currently using Pinterest? If you could, just on your screen, just click the yes or no button. Georgie, you can't vote. See, it clearly says we can't vote.
I'm not
You're not eligible to win or vote. Okay, we're up about 85% have voted. Give it another second, and we will close the voting, and I will share it. About a pretty even split here, Georgie. We got a little more no's than yes. So a lot of people tuning in today do not use Pinterest. I'm sure they've heard of it, but they are not online. They do not have an account. Great, thanks. The next question is, for those 45% that did say yes, that you are on Pinterest, you have a Pinterest account, are you using Pinterest for business? So for those that said yes, that you are on it, are you utilizing it for your business at all? All right, another couple of seconds here. I'll close that voting, and I'm going to share, again, pretty even split. So about 53% are not using it for business, about 47% are. So about 1 in 4 people attending this webinar are using Pinterest for business. The other 3/4 either are not using it for business or aren't even on it at all. And now the last question is a trivia question for those Jeopardy fans out there. How many Pinterest users do you think there are? It lost my my bottom 2 questions here, Georgie. It's only showing the top 3, but there were 2 others here. So the first is under 10 million, between 10 and 30, between 30 and 50. There was also between 50 and 70 and over 70. So you're just going to have to take my word for it when we give the answer. If it's not one of these 3 that are showing up, I'm going to close the voting in a second. Almost everybody's voted, and I'm going to share. Well, actually, so it wouldn't have mattered if I had showed the other 2 too much, because over 60% of our attendees think that there is between 10 and 30 million Pinterest users. We're going to give those 31% that think it's over 30 million, I'm just going to give you credit for saying over 30 million, because Georgie will explain in a moment what the real answer is. All right. Thank you for your participation, and it should be able to go back to you, Georgie.
So, wow, really interesting results of our poll, and it's very exciting to me because, again, especially for the design community, this is just a really great social channel platform for you to be leveraging as a part of your marketing strategy, and sort of this idea of casting a wider net. So even if you're not using Pinterest, you've obviously heard about it. Pinterest was launched just 3 years ago and now has over 70 million users. And what's interesting is last year, I believe we either had a webinar or maybe we had an in-store event. And it was earlier in the year, there were 11 million. In February, since February of this year, they added another 20 million. So this has really made Pinterest the fastest growing social media site in history, almost the fastest growing website in history, and now is the 3rd most popular social networking site behind Facebook and LinkedIn. So it's really pretty incredible story. So what is Pinterest? Pinterest is a visually focused social network. The key term is visual. That allows users to organize and share images and videos from all over the web. Images uploaded by users are called pins and may be organized into pin boards, which then are customized, themed, and followed by other users. Users like or repin content, and anybody pinning, any pinner, can follow another. And I know this is certainly a lot of new lingo to learn. So again, today I'm just trying to stay with the basics. So now let's talk about exactly who's on Pinterest. Pinterest users are an extremely powerful demographic. 80% of Pinterest users are women. good for our industry, our vertical, designers, anybody in home decor. 50% of them are over 35. Again, we're connecting the dots, a great target market. The Pinterest users are highly educated, with 60% of...
Georgie?
Hello, can you hear me? I just
Yeah.
had a strange...
Yeah, you're back. Just cut out for a second.
I'm back. Okay, that was very strange. Okay. So highly educated membership base is over 60% earning a college degree. 50% of Pinterest users have children, and 57% of users have household incomes over $50,000 a year. So for the design community, this is the perfect target audience. Pinterest should be a major part of your marketing mix. Next, let's talk about the growth rate. Pinterest is growing at an exponential rate, adding millions of new users per month, both in the U.S. and abroad. We're always asked at Big Couch by clients, either current clients or prospective clients, is this something that they should be considering for marketing their business? So today I really want to review these topics and kind of help you navigate your way at a basic level around Pinterest so you could start leveraging this powerful social channel to drive new potential customers. The buying power. Pinterest users have tremendous buying power, only second to LinkedIn. According to a recent study, Pinterest buyers buy more, spend more, and conduct more transactions than any other social media shoppers. This audience represents a real revenue opportunity for each of you, not just brand building and exposure, but could turn into real potential projects. So why specifically should this be important to you? And when I say you, I'm talking about the design community. First and foremost, interior design ranks number 4 as a top Pinterest interest. So for those of you, the 50% who said you're on Pinterest, you understand this whole category. This is number 4. And for those of you who use it, you probably go on. I know I do. Well, you guys don't because you're the experts, but I'm always looking for new ideas and trends. So add to this that Pinterest users are very engaged. On average, they spend over an hour, which is resulting in driving real customer referral traffic to websites or blogs. And because of its visual focus, it's truly a great opportunity for each of you to help establish yourself as an authoritative leader and expert in your specialty or niche. Also, Pinterest is driving real traffic and real business. Data shows us that Pinterest has now become one of the major traffic sources, now number 4 in terms of percentage of referring traffic to websites or blogs. This is very consistent to what we see at Big Couch, including clients and partners of ours like Capital Lighting. Now, unlike Facebook or LinkedIn, where you have to be friended or connected, users on Pinterest are searching out others to follow based on common interests. This means anyone can find you and then follow you. Your content and messaging can be shared and followed by any of the 17 million people on Pinterest, 80% of which are women, and all the other statistics, the affluency and that sort of thing. So again, a great place to be fishing for potential new customers. You'll see that the vast majority of major home decor brands now have a presence and are actively using Pinterest, such as The Perfect Palette, Martha Stewart, Better Homes and Gardens, with literally tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers in some cases. And more importantly, specific to our industry, many of the top nation's designers are now actively on Pinterest. So how does it work? Hopefully I've convinced you now that the 50% who aren't doing anything, that when you get off the call today, you're just going to run and set up your Pinterest, I hope. So how does it work? The basic premise on Pinterest allows you to connect people all over the world through common interests and shared tastes. So today we're going to specifically talk about setting up a business account. There's personal accounts and there's business accounts. Today we're talking about how to use Pinterest to build your business. So I just want to sort of make that distinction because it's a little different. So to get started, you simply go to Pinterest.com, right? Seems obvious. And it'll ask you to either sign up using your Facebook login or email. So you want to select email, and you'll see here it asks you right at the bottom there if you're a business. So you want to click on that link because, again, we're setting up a business account. Additionally, you can also get to the business page if you visit business.pinterest.com. So there's a couple of different ways, but I'm sure most of you will just go to Pinterest.com. Next, this is where you are going to be creating your business account and your public profile. So it's going to ask you the business type. This is how you get categorized on Pinterest. Most of you will be choosing professional. And when you actually click that drop down, it says interior design is one of the major categories. That just substantiates what I was saying earlier. It's a very popular theme and category on Pinterest. Then they're going to ask you for the contact for the account and who will manage the account. And you'll add your email address and create a password. Next is information that will show up publicly. So as I've shared in other webinars, or if you've been to any of our in-store events on social media, I always use the term put your best foot forward. This is what people are going to see when they pull up your profile. And then you're going to provide your business name, and it'll ask you to establish your username. And the username determines the URL on Pinterest. So it's pinterest.com/Susie's Interior Design. So that's the username. And if possible, try and make this consistent across all your social media channels and profiles. So if you have a Facebook page and you've used Susie Q Designs and Creations, try to use the same consistent name across all your channels.
Hey, Georgie, somebody's just asking if you have a personal Pinterest page, you should also have a business page, sort of like the Facebook business personal.
So the easy answer to that is yes. From a business perspective, you would want to be, as far as using it for business, I would suggest using your business page, but from a personal perspective, if you had to choose on what would be the right approach from business building, I would have a business page. I mean, I use my personal page and if anybody wants to follow me on my personal page, I've got recipes up there. So I really use Pinterest personally. So I sort of make a little distinction between, kind of church and state there.
Okay.
So next is
I'm sorry, just one more. So you want to have the name of the business account, just to clarify, match sort of the name of your business. So if you're Susie Q's designer, that would be the name, not Susie Quinn. It would be Susie Q Designer. That would be the Pinterest. Got it.
The name of your business. Yes.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So some of you who may have been on Pinterest for quite some time may have a personal account now because way back when they didn't have business pages. So if you have a personal account that's kind of set up like a business page, which is what we all did in the beginning, there is an easy way to convert that. So you'll see here on this slide where you just click on that little, I already have an account, and you want to convert it, and it'll walk you through it very easily. It's not complicated or difficult. So if you want to convert a personal page to a business page, it's easy to do that. So now you have your account created. So now we're ready to start creating boards. And so to create a board, so you're logged in, and you're going to click the little Add button at the top. And then a screen will pop up asking you what you would like to add. So you want to click on Create a Board. And the hierarchy is boards have pins in them. So you have to create a board with the theme, and then you can add pins to those boards. Kind of if you just think about a pin board, like the old-fashioned cork board. It's going to ask you then to name your board. It will ask you to categorize it. And then it'll also ask who can pin onto it. So you have some settings on there as well. And we're going to talk about adding contributors and that sort of thing a little farther down the road. So here's a sample of a board we started to create around mood lighting. So it just gives you kind of an idea of how to easily create the board. And by the way, all of these things can be deleted or edited or changed and that sort of thing. So it's not like once you publish it, you can't change it. It's all you have the ability to change it. Now you have boards. So now you want to start pinning, and so pins are also created by clicking on that Add button, and then you're going to get that same pop-up, and once you've clicked that Add button, you're either going to upload an image from your computer, and many of you are probably doing that on Facebook, or you can copy and paste a URL into that box as well. So make sure when you create your boards and pins that they include a well-written and engaging board description, and as well as a pin description. Remember, this is what people are reading. You all are in the visual, creating the experience business, so put your best foot forward when you're thinking about your description. So when you're creating these descriptions for your pins and boards, be very descriptive, engaging, and also try and link back to your website where the product or service is featured. So it's always good, and most of our clients, we leverage Pinterest to drive traffic back to our blog or our product pages or that sort of thing. And this is also important for many reasons, but especially this is important for search engine optimization. And for those of you who are hearing that term, I'm sure not for the first time, but what that means is how you rank in the search engine when people are typing in terms. And part of the ranking algorithm is based on links back to your website or blog from sites that are popular. And with 70 million users, you can imagine that a link back from Pinterest has a lot of value. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to have engaging and descriptive descriptions of your pins and boards. Another great feature is you can use rich pins, and this allows you to include even additional information about a product, such as price, if that's relevant, availability, and even where to purchase. So one of the easy ways to make it easy for you to start pinning and adding content to your board is you can add the Pin It button to your browser. this makes it simple to add new images and content to your Pinterest board. So I'm sure you've also seen another way to add content to your board is you've probably seen on many websites. Here's Capital Lighting website, of course, and you've seen the pin it button. This is another great way for you to add content. So by just clicking on that button, you'll see a little pop-up, screen pops up, and the Pinterest will use the board you created, category and description, but you can also change it. It kind of will create a default, but you can always create a new board. And when I tell you this is so easy, even my mother could do it, and she's 90. So it's not hard. Just play around with it. So that's another way to be adding content. So content from third-party websites or from your own website. So
and Georgie, just a quick question. That adding the pin it thing to your browser, that's the specifics of how to do that is it's an extension. You click it.
So if you let me go back to that. I think it was here.
I know we have it on our website, but yeah, I think it's
So if you click on the About, so you're on Pinterest, you hit the About and the Pin It button. Look, my little arrow's going in the wrong direction. Sorry. You click on that Pin It button, and right here it says add this link to your browser, and over here to the right, it creates a little shortcut.
Got it.
On your browser.
Okay.
So when you're on a website, let's say you see a great article or you see a great photo or whatever, and you want to add that to you want to create a new board or create a pin on one of your boards, you just click on that, and that same little box pops up.
Perfect.
On that pin it button.
And if you accidentally pin something and you didn't want to pin it, you just go to your board and delete it.
You delete it, yeah.
Okay.
You can always delete.
Very easy.
And I'm
Got it.
constantly doing that because sometimes, especially in the kind of businesses that we're in, design trends change and that sort of thing. You probably, if you had a board from a year ago, maybe the colors have changed or whatever, and you want to, delete a board, you can always, do that.
Okay. Very good. Yeah,
okay.
I am getting a lot of questions about this because people are very interested in, I guess, when they see something on a website and they want to quickly put it onto their boards. So, I must have gotten 7-8 questions about just this little piece.
Yeah.
So, do you have to give the name? Do you have to give credit, or the credit is already there when you pin it? It has where it came from.
It has where it came. It will have where it came from, and it'll link to that page.
And so there's nothing, no copyrights, nothing. If somebody puts it out on the web, it's yours to share because it'll have
Correct.
the links. Okay, great.
Yeah, because it's going to their website. So I mean, you're not taking that content and putting it on your website. You're just really sharing a link.
And
if people don't want their content shared, then they should put it online, I guess.
Like if you see an image online and you save the image as something else and then share it so it doesn't link back, is that still okay?
Well, I would be very cautious.
Okay.
Going to Google Images and saving images and then using them for your own commercial use.
So that's what you shouldn't do.
Theoretically, you shouldn't. I mean, theoretically, those could have been copyrighted, and you're not going to know until you get a letter from somebody who says.
The safest way is to just have it linked to the image, not save the image as something else, because then there's no copyright or you're not giving credit to whoever created that image.
Yeah, I mean, unless you put on that pin without the link, say copyright, CEU or something, And that would kind of legally, that would cover you.
Okay.
That you're giving credit, but obviously there's a lot of controversy about, because this happens all the time. Everybody's taking images off the web and
right. Okay.
So you
just, yeah, a lot of interest on that little part there. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's real easy to add that. You go to the About. You're on Pinterest. About. It says Pin It button. You click on that, and then it says Add the pin. You click it, and it shows up on your browser. Really easy. 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome. Good questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now you've created your Pinterest profile. You've created some compelling and interesting boards. Let's start building followers. As with other social media, you do need to make a commitment to be actively pinning to keep your followers engaged. I mean, and what I always try to share with folks that I talk to is just create a schedule that says on Tuesdays, put it in your Outlook or your Google Calendar or whatever, write it in your day timer that says I'm going to go and do some pinning. Like anything, you need to make a commitment. Additionally, the way to get followers is, it's sort of the quid pro quo, right? Start following other similar boards and comment on pins or repins that are within the same category as your business. So get engaged in other people who are in your vertical with commenting and repinning and following and that sort of thing. So when somebody starts following you, you actually get a notification. And I, in general, if somebody, especially if it's a business, if somebody starts following me, I always reciprocate because it's sort of the rising tide, raises all boats. So that's, a tactic to start building followers. And then you can also create group boards. And again, it's very easy. You'll see that it'll ask you what kind of board it is. You can create group boards so that other people can post to that board. It's not just you.
Great.
So the key to a successful Pinterest account is being constantly active. So keep your boards up to date with fresh ideas and things that your followers, your potential followers, want to see. For example, and I always bring this up, and again, if you've ever been to any of my webinars or my events, create some seasonal boards around simple decorating ideas for the holidays. I mean, Halloween's coming up, Veterans Day, we all want to decorate for Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever. I mean, people are really interested in those types of things. And for those of you who have not really been on Pinterest, as you get more involved, you'll see how engaged people get with interesting tips and that sort of thing. Another great way to build followers is through contests. So you can offer deals or products to people who pin items and share things with their friends. We've probably all seen those types of contests. Capital Lighting has really embraced social media, and we run a lot of different contests. And contests don't have to be big. They can be small, whatever. Just simple contests. You don't even need fancy graphics. So again, it's just a fun way for you to get followers and people engaged with your company and your brand. Another way is adding the follow button to your website. Now, this is done simply by copying some easy code to your backend. So some of you are like, I don't even know what backend I'm on. Talk to whoever manages your website. It's very easy. If you pay somebody to do it on a freelance basis, this literally would take them 5 minutes. If you pay them by the hour, it's not even an hour. It's a very easy thing to do. So here's just an example of what that looks like. We've all seen those, but I just wanted you to visualize what that means, adding that button. And adding that feature is going to allow users to visit your website, to share your products, and do all that sort of good stuff. So add if you have a website or blog, make sure that you add the Pinterest button. You probably already have the Facebook. I see a lot of websites and blogs that might have Facebook and Twitter, but they don't have Pinterest. In our vertical, you need to have Pinterest. Another aspect of, again, building followers is post your Pinterest link on your other social media. So if you have Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, or any other social sites that you're participating in, that's another way to gain followers. Excuse me. So, today, in general, I'm going to make a general statement. Companies that are really active in social media are often viewed kind of as like a little more credible, that you're really embracing it. And again, it doesn't mean that you have to post or do things every day, but make some kind of a commitment to be active on social media.
Georgie, a couple of people are asking this as well. I thought we would get to it perhaps at the end, because I know we're working on a house webinar as well. But
yeah,
can you talk a minute, because I don't think you have a slide dedicated to this, but what's the biggest difference or the differentiating thing that you would post on Pinterest versus something you would post on House? I mean, is House just for homes and it's really that kind of centric, or are there some major differences that you could clear up for us?
Well, House is what I sort of categorize as a niche social channel. So it's very focused on home and design and that sort of thing. And it's almost sort of a directory on steroids. I'm not, to me, it's not one or the other. And, we do want to, in future, have a webinar in the future about House, because if you're not on House, this will just be a value add. Go get on House as well. Start exploring at least. They have a lot of good ranking. House has great ranking in search engines. So, again, that will help your overall presence. Pinterest is has a broader user base. You might consider, now House has things, they don't have boards, they have idea books and that sort of thing. You might want to use you could use almost the same kind of strategy to categorize your account so that you could be leveraging the content across multiple channels. So I'd say the major difference is that House is very specific to people looking for home decor and design and that sort of thing. And Pinterest is a much broader, have a greater reach. But I mean, I would say, as a consultant, you should be, certainly, using all of these channels to your advantage from a marketing perspective.
Yeah, and I think that's a I know that there's aggregators and you could post it in one place and it'll sort of post in others, but that's not as good as really putting it where it belongs. But thank you for these questions that I'm getting regarding these two channels, and we are working on a webinar for House. But from what I'm hearing, it's Pinterest is a varied interests. I know there's a lot of recipes and fashion and home decor and costumes and whatever.
Do it, your crafts.
Crafts. And
if you're looking for an idea for a Halloween costume,
right,
that is a great place to be, to be searching.
But House will be a little bit more. House will be a little bit more niche-y, but also important. But it's the kind of thing that if you have a post that you'd put on House, it would also probably fit perfectly on Pinterest. So it's not brand new content. It's just using it in both places. And I know I already see people's eyes rolling in the back of their head. That's your assistant there, Georgie. I see people's eyes rolling in the back of their head that, I don't have time to do all these things. So I know I've listened to you before, and you're like, pick one, do something, get started. and it won't take as much time as you think. Give yourself 10 minutes twice a week, and dip your foot in the pool and get started. So,
yeah, I mean, in general, make a commitment to social, to social media.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
Okay. I was just on mute. I was just talking to myself.
At least somebody was listening.
So,
all right. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. He's picking on me, everybody. It's not nice. Okay. So I know all of you are thinking, I don't have time. Well, you don't have to do this alone. So you can easily add board contributors. So let's say you have a partner in your business. You make your college, your child in college work for you for free. That's what I do. You can add them as contributors. So when you're viewing your boards, you just click Edit, and it selects Me and Contributors option, and you just start typing in the person's name. So I'd start typing in Eric Liebersfeld, and his name will automatically pop up. Now, one thing to note, in order to add contributors, you have to be following the person. So it's sort of, they have to sort of be in your network. But the key message here is you can have multiple people contributing to the board. Okay. So, today we talked about the basics, and definitely down the road, Pinterest has some very rich features. They're coming out with advertising opportunities. Didn't want to talk about that today, and especially given, the level of activity. But that kind of gives you a base of how to set up a business account, how to set up boards, pins, how to start pinning content, and how to start building followers. So what I wanted to do now was just give you, go through a little makeover that we did. So Debbie Richerson is a South Florida-based interior designer, and she's a good friend of Capital Lighting. And she offers custom design services for both residential and commercial. And she has really been very active with us in wanting to grow her business by using digital channels such as Pinterest. So our strategy for Debbie was we wanted to create some engaging boards to really visually represent the services provided by Richerson Design, such as things like inspiration ideas, master bedroom, living room, kitchens, bathrooms, etc. Right? We focused more on the consumer side for Debbie on her Pinterest account than the commercial side. Additionally, Debbie also wanted to feature some of the online products she offers on her website. She actually has a couple of products that she sells, things like bed coverings and some bundled design packages. So the result was the creation of very robust presence. We created several boards that really represented the full breadth of her product and services offering. We also, we worked closely with Debbie's web developer, probably for 5 minutes, to have Pinterest integrated on her website so she could start sharing her content on her Pinterest account, as well as giving others the ability to share her content on their Pinterest. So that goes back to having other users pinning your content from your website or your blog onto their Pinterest account. So one of the things I always like to talk about, and this is really important across all social channels, is Pinterest has a very great analytics tool. So you can really see what people are doing on your Pinterest page. The analytics is located, it's in the top menu. Everything's in the top menu. When you're logged into your business account, everything's in the top menu. They make it very easy. And you can see how many people are pinning, how many people are viewing your pins, clicking on your pins, which ones are more popular, what's getting the most attention from who, and even, at what time. So you don't have to be guessing. And as I mentioned, these types of tools are available if you're on Facebook or you're on LinkedIn or you're on Twitter. There's also each of those have analytics tools for business pages. So, okay. So why should you be joining Pinterest? Pinterest is visually oriented social channel with 70 million people. I go back to the 70 million.
Yeah, over 70 million.
I mean, it's a lot of people. Pinterest users are a very powerful demographic. They're affluent, college-educated, high average household income. And by the way, for everybody who's on this call, 80% are women, and they have a lot of buying power. Interior design is one of the top interests on Pinterest. So, I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. The numbers, speak for themselves. It is a real opportunity to drive new prospects to your business. It will absolutely drive business. I know I can speak for Eric and the Capital Lighting team. Pinterest is probably in the top two. I think it's the second highest referral source, and I'm pulling that a little bit from memory, to our website. So it's powerful, and we're actually generating real sales from that. And the last thing is, it's a lot of fun. I'm obviously a social media geek, but I have the most fun on Pinterest. If you want to follow me and you juice, I have all my good juicing recipes up there in case you're interested in it. So it really is. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So I like to just, the last point I just want to make, there's always help. We have talked about a lot today. We really have. Don't be overwhelmed. And Pinterest has a very in-depth help section. They make it so easy for you, their FAQs. How do I set up this account? How do I add the pin it button? How do I do this? How do I convert? They've really covered it. So you'll be able to get any of the answers. Like if today I didn't answer, some of the questions you might have, certainly you can email us with any questions. But also if you just go to the Pinterest help, which is again on the top menu, you could just hit that little help button, and it'll help you out. So. But I want to thank everybody for attending today, and you guys had some great questions.
Yeah, we actually got a bunch more if we got some time. So I'd like to get to a few that we didn't answer. So, I'm not letting you go quite yet, Georgie.
I have nowhere to go. I don't even have a life, so I have nowhere to go. I just have to go on Pinterest as soon as we're off this call. So,
very good. Well, you already worked out, so you're good. Can I ask you some questions? It's always good to ask permission. Somebody asked about private boards or secret boards. Are they? You can create a board and share that only with specific people. Like if you're working on somebody's house and you don't want to show other people what you're finding. That's just very simple.
Yeah.
And,
yep.
And that is, again, something that you create the board and there's some sort of sharing.
There's a setting. There are settings on settings within when you're establishing the board. It's going to ask who can have access to that board.
Okay.
So that's the group. Those are the group boards that I was speaking to. So group boards are people could actually post to that board, but those are really you can also create private groups.
All right.
In
So
that kind of same setting.
Great. Thanks. And someone asks, can you pin a Pinterest board to Facebook?
Yes. So you can link your Facebook account to Pinterest. So, for instance, when I pin, I'll just give you an example. I have my accounts linked together. So when I pin on Pinterest, it magically shows up on my Facebook, and all of my 900 friends on Facebook have to suffer through it. But you can't. Yes, you can link it, or you could just take the URL and paste it into Facebook. I mean, that's the easy way. If you don't want to link your accounts, you could just copy and paste the URL and put it in on your Facebook status. Would be another way to do that.
Somebody just asked, can you pin photos from house? And I'm sure you can, right? It's just like anything else on a browser.
If you have the pin it button on the browser,
right,
you can, you could do it that way, or you could copy the URL. That's another way, right? The simple way. And
just to clarify a couple of things, people are very interested in these private boards because I guess they're working with clients. Again, I think you said you have to be reciprocal with them. They have to be following you, and you have to be following them.
Yeah, you kind of have to be. I mean, let's put it in Facebook terms. You kind of have to be friends, right? You got to be. You have to be linked on Pinterest.
So if I guess these designers, they have their Pinterest boards. They start pulling together something for a client, and they got 30 images from different parts of their house, and they want to share that with their client. Their client has to get on Pinterest to see it, correct? They can't send a link for them to not. Yeah, they have to be on Pinterest. So you can't just send them to it's not like sending them to a website. They have to join Pinterest, which again takes a second, and then follow you, and then they can be invited to that board information.
Correct.
Just going down, the questions are flying at me. Let's see, a couple things I'll answer in a minute. Wow. If I didn't answer one of your questions on here, please email me. You all have my email, and I will get the answer for you from Georgie. If I don't know the answer, so I will. A couple of people did ask about the CEU credit, and I'll just clarify that if you signed up for the webinar and you gave us your IDCEC number, we do that automatically. We're going to submit that to the IDCEC, and you'll be credited. It's all online. If you do not have that IDCEC number and you have an ASID number, we have the ability to just send you the certificate, so you will be getting credit for it. If it's not done automatically and you don't see anything in the next couple of days, just shoot me an email, and I'll have our wonderful marketing manager, Lori Ruth, send you whatever you need. So Georgie, that was awesome, and I will be sending a follow-up email, like I said, in the next day or two, that will have a copy of the slide deck that you saw today. I am also recording this webinar, and we're going to put this up on our YouTube channel, so you could watch it again if there was something that you wanted to see, or if you wanted to share it with somebody, or share it with your Facebook friends. We, of course, we're here to make lives brighter, and if you help us spread the word, that'll make our job that much easier. So thank you so much for that. If you are a registered pro, you have the ability to complete something we have online called Expert Finder. That's a free directory that lets the thousands of visitors that do come to our site, 1-800-LIGHTING, look at your work. It's a free service for all of our pros. I'll put some information about that on the follow-up email. And the last thing I wanted to mention is the the robust guest blogger program we start. I think blogging was one of the previous webinars we did. Hopefully some of you have started that. But if you just wanted to, you had something to say, you did something terrific in a client's home and you wanted to write a blog post about it, just let us know and we will put that information out on our blog, giving you full credit. And it's a great way to get started in blogging, utilizing our blog, which is terrific. So we're happy to help you there as well. And I guess that's about it. We're almost up to the hour, so I appreciate everybody joining us today. We hope to see you on our future webinars online at 1-800-Lighting.com or in one of our showrooms. So I wish you all a great rest of your week and a terrific beginning of the holiday season. And thank you for being with us today. Take care, everybody. We'll talk again.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Georgie.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.